personal connections to the text by using their schema. Yes, Natalie, do you have a question? Do you have a question, Natalie? Are you able to talk? Let me see if I can turn.
Miss Crosby's muted.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
I'm muted, but I think Natalie, you can unmute if you
Miss
want.
Crosby can
Yeah, I
mute.
can unmute.
Yeah,
I
there you
just
go. Okay.
want to
Oh, so
wait
go ahead and
until the end of class.
Oh, you're gonna wait till the end?
Yeah.
Okay, awesome.
Bye.
Okay, so we're going to learn about text to text, text to self, and text to world. Okay, our expectations. So you guys will make connections to personal experience with the book and ideas in other texts and even outside the world. We want to, so for example, I will understand what I read more clearly by making connections. So this could say that it's going to be text to myself, right? So I want everybody to unmute and then repeat after me, okay? I will understand. 3, 2, 1. I will understand what I read more clear.
I will understand
what
while I
read more clearly by making connections.
Reading a book is not only just reading the text itself. You want to understand, oh, what is the author thinking about? Why did he write this? Right? So good readers make connection. So I'm going to show you this. I want you to listen carefully and raise your hand if you have any questions, okay?
Let's make connections. How do readers make connections? Good readers make connections by using what they already know to connect a text to their life experiences, another text, or the world. Text to self means connecting the story to your life and experiences. This reminds me of that one day. Text to text means connecting the story to another book. This reminds me of that one book I read. Text to world, connecting the story to the real world. I remember hearing about this on the news. Now you're ready to make your own connections. See you next time.
Okay, so on this, it says, right here, text to self, connecting yourself, right? So for example, I read this book called Willy Wonka from the Roald Dahl, and it talks about, oh, this book reminds me of a time when I feel nervous before going to a chocolate eating festival. That's talking about me, right? Text to text is, oh, for example, this book reminds me of Wembley Worried by Kevin Hicks. In both books, the characters worry a lot, learn how to feel better in the end. So connecting the story to another book that you have read before. Right? Last one, connecting to the world means you're connecting to outside. People all over the world get nervous before taking a test when they're inside the school. So you're connecting, right? What about for adults? Oh, I'm nervous when I'm taking a job interview. I'm nervous when I'm taking a driving test. Right?
Let's make connections.
Next one. So look at this worksheet on the left. Do you see the sentence starters right here? You can use to make connection when you read. So after you read, you have to think about, first, this part reminds me of when I went to a Big Bear to ice skate. I felt like the character when I was at school taking quiz. This part made me think of my mom making a chicken soup for me. Right? You always have to think about, relate to yourself, to another book, another experience, or another world that it happened, right? So I want you to think about making connection while we're listening to this story. So raise your hand, give me a thumbs up if you've ever seen this book before, Big Test Jitters. Oh, okay, I see some. Let's see what's this book going to be about. And I want you to think, oh, while you're reading, okay, did I ever have the same experience?
Big Test Jitters, written by Julie Danberg, illustrated by Judy Lowe. Mrs. Hartwell felt good, really good, really, really good. All year long, her students had worked hard, learned lots, and had fun. And now, as the school year neared its end, Mrs. Hartwell told her students they were ready to take the big test. Yuck, said Eddie. Double yuck, said Alexandra. Double, triple, quadruple yuck, said Josh. I hate tests. Mrs. Hartwell laughed. Don't worry, this test is just a chance to show how much you've learned. Like addition, Emily shouted out. And reading, said Maria. And science, Jack joined in. Mrs. Hartwell nodded in agreement. Leaning forward, she added, we still have one thing left to learn, though. The class was confused. But you just said we were ready, Daniel said. You are, almost. But on the test, you also have to know how to show what you know, explained Mrs. Hartwell. It's the last thing we have to learn. It will be fun. So during reading time that morning, Mrs. Hartwell sent the students straight to their seats. Today we're going to practice our sitting still for long periods of time skill. I want you to read at your seat and work by yourself. That doesn't sound like fun to me, Eddie grumbled as he took out his book. The class worked quietly. The reading part was easy. Sitting still without making a sound was hard. For Andy, it was impossible. During recess, while everyone else ran and played, Andy ran and played and worried. After recess, Andy's stomach hurt. He has to go to the nurse. Okay, said Mrs. Hartwell sadly, but you'll be missing this afternoon. Let's all read the directions lesson. Andy didn't mind. On Tuesday morning, Mrs. Hartwell said, Friday is the day of the big test. Since we don't want any bubble trouble when we take it, we're going to practice our fill in the bubble skills. Everyone worked hard. Everyone did just fine. Everyone, that is, except Emily and Maria. By the time they were done working, Emily had a headache, and Maria felt shivery all over. They asked to go to the nurse. Okay, said Mrs. Hartwell, looking concerned, but you're going to miss our morning of the test nutrition lesson. Emily and Maria took their pass and rushed out the door. On Wednesday morning, Mrs. Hartwell said, today we're going to take a practice test. Do we have to sit still for long periods of time? Asked Andy. Yes, said Mrs. Hartwell. Do we have to fill in bubbles? Asked Emily. And be sure to follow the directions? Asked Maria. Yes, you do, Mrs. Hartwell smiled encouragingly. Remember, this test is a chance to show what you know before the timer goes off. Although most of the class did just fine, by the time the practice test was over, Daniel had gone to the nurse. As Mrs. Hartwell watched him go, she felt bad, really, really bad. On Wednesday afternoon, just before the bell, Mrs. Hartwell reminded everyone that tomorrow was the last day before the big test. We know, Eddie said grumpily. This big test is no fun. I can't wait for it to be over. All the other students nodded in agreement. As Mrs. Hartwell straightened up her desk, she said, tomorrow will be better, I promise. When the students entered the classroom on Thursday, Mrs. Hartwell greeted them with a smile. You've all worked hard this year, learned lots, and had fun, right? She asked. Yeah, said the class. And this week we practiced how to show what you know, right? Right, said the class hesitantly. Now it's time for the most important lesson of all, said Mrs. Hartwell. The class groaned as she told everyone to line up. Mrs. Hartwell walked her students down the hall. Everyone felt a little bit nervous. Mrs. Hartwell walked her students right up to the door of the library. Everyone felt a lot nervous. The library, they gasped when she hung a sign at the library door. I feel sick, said Eddie. Mrs. Hartwell said, once you've learned what you can learn and know how to show what you know, it's time to stop worrying and just relax. So the class did just that. And when the students finished the big test on Friday, they felt good, really good, really good.
Okay, let's go a little bit to the front. Before I start, Sophia, did you have a question? Oh, is it unmuted? Let me see.
I forgot my question.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna give you Haley. Did you have a question? No. Okay. Okay. One last. Margot, did you have a question?
My mic is working.
Oh, great to hear that. Okay.
It's not Marga, it's Margot.
Okay, guys. Okay, I'm still waiting for Margot to talk.
Okay. I didn't have a question, but I wanted to tell you something.
Is
That's
it
how I
about
am.
the book that we read?
That's how. Yeah, it's about the book that we read. That's how I am about big tests. But it turns out the test is gonna be fun.
Yes, that's what we're going to talk about. But before that, I want you to you want to go over some of the vocab, right? The title says big test jitter. So what do you think jitter means? Jitter actually means you feel really nervous or jumpy, right? So give me a thumbs up if you ever felt like jitter before a big test. Yes, right? Even I feel like nervous when I have the test, right? And after that, look at the teacher here. She felt good, really good. And the children, they're feeling really nervous, right? So Miss Harder is making up some poster and making the room really nice for them to get relaxed, right? That's she wants kids to feel calm and ready, right? The kids are worried about the test, right? So give me a thumbs up when you feel nervous before taking a test. What makes you feel better? I know, I see some thumbs down, right? So you guys feel nervous, some you don't. So, Isaiah, so you gave me a thumbs up. That means you feel nervous when you're taking a quiz or test. Then what do you do to make you feel a little better, relax?
I tell myself that I know I could do this.
Perfect, fabulous. Yes, that's what I do, and that's what most of the people should do. I know I can do best. I'm gonna try my best. We always try our best, right? And after they feel nervous, right? They're still talking about, okay, all of this, and like they're imagining strange test questions. So they're thinking about silly thoughts, show like, oh, their imagination can run wild. Oh, it can be really wild, right? What else? After this, let's look at this picture or this part. Okay, who wants to raise your hand if you want to explain what's going on this? Iyad, could you tell me what's happening in this scene? Or Ayad?
It's pronounced Iyad.
Oh, yeah, I'm so sorry about that. Yeah. So it says here, stop worrying and just relax. They,
There's two people on the ground. Look like they're playing cards.
yes,
The
look like,
kid's watching everything happening.
uh-huh.
The
Yes.
kid is lifting a dumbbell made out of balloons, I think.
Mhm. Okay, so teachers are making them relax. They're trying to have fun, right? Thank you very much, Ed. And at the end, when the test is over, everyone feels so much better, right? So let's think about it. Oh, what can we remember next time when we are worried about something, right?
Just
Oops, sorry. Okay, so let's think about the book, and then question number one: what does this book remind you of in your own life? In your own life, anybody? Iwatomi. For example, I'm going to give you an example, okay, Iwatomi. This book reminds me of time when I had to take a test for driving license. I felt really nervous and had a butterflies in my stomach, just like in the characters in the story. So what about Iwatomi? What does this book remind you in your own life?
So it was actually this year in this grade. I had a very, very hard printed test. A very hard printed assignment.
Mhm.
And it was seriously hard. Like I didn't even know what to do.
Uh-huh. Wow, wow, wow. You must be really, really nervous, right? That's just exactly the same as the characters in the story, right? Were you able to sleep well the night before? No? Because sometimes like you feel so nervous, really worried about it, like I'm not able to sleep well before the night because worried about doing my test, like trying my best, right? Thank you, Watomi. And number two, have you ever made some choices as character in the book? What happened? Olivia. So Miss Tina's gonna give you an example.
I wanted to try the example what the book reminded me of.
Mm-hmm.
I'm
Yes.
kidding.
Oh,
So
question
the book
one. Okay,
reminded
sure.
me the book reminded me of the school we're in right now.
Mhm.
And they're in school.
Okay, thank you, thank you. That's a great answer. But actually, we're going to second one, right? So Olivia, oh sorry, not Olivia. Chelsea, have you ever made some choices as a character in the book, and what happened?
I want to tell you something really scary.
Uh-huh. Just like in the book. Uh-huh.
So when I was on a cruise ship, I went on the yellow scariest light in the whole wide world. And it was so scary. So I went down 3 times.
Oh, so when you felt scary, what did you do? Did you talk to your parents? Did you talk to your friends? Did you take a deep breath?
I took a deep breath.
Oh, okay.
It was
Good job.
fast.
Wow, thank you very much. Good job, Chelsea. Okay, next question. Does this book remind you of a book you have read before? I know it's a little hard because you have to think about previous book that you have read before. Let's think about it. What kind of book reminds you of a book that you have read before? Because it has to be something that was very scary. And how did you recover that? Kids worrying about it a lot, but at the end they learn that, oh, everything turns out okay. Let's see. Oh yes, Heidi. Oh, Miss Crosby. Yes, Miss
Yes, I wanted to share too. You guys remember when we read that book about the bats in the cave? You guys remember that? That kind of reminded me of that book because remember they were so scared at first because it was really dark, but then they found the flashlight. That's what I was thinking about.
Us?
Yeah.
No,
Wow.
it was in Bright Thinker. You guys remember when we read it? It was in Bright Thinker about I can't remember the kids' names, but they had to go into the cave.
Perfect. Perfect. Okay. Thank you very much, Miss Crosby. Okay, let's move on to number 4. Do other people get nervous about tests even if they're not in school? What kind of test could that be? For example, like Miss Tina get nervous about health checkup when I have to go to a hospital. When you do a blood draw, I feel like, oh my god, it's not test, but I already feel I'm so nervous. What can I do, right? This like blood test or a health checkup can make you feel nervous, right? And it's guys, it's normal to feel a little worried, right? So, no, Natalie, yes, Natalie, could you give me one example?
I just wanted to say that the character's name from the back was Jenny and Carl's.
Oh, okay.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Natalie.
I was going to say that, but you interrupted
Thank you so much. Okay, remember that. Perfect. Yes. So number 4, question number 4. Sophia, could you answer that for me? I know it's really tricky questions, right? I'm coming back. I'm going.
Oh, I think she just got her microphone off. It just took a second. Yeah, you're good, Sophia. I think we can hear you. Try it.
Wait, when I was at the doctor, I was nervous because I was gonna get shot.
Sorry. Where were you? When you were in?
When she was at the doctor. I think that's what she said.
Oh, when you were at the doctor. Yes.
Yeah.
I felt the same. Right. Okay. One last. Jaden, can you give me an answer? Do you feel nervous besides taking test, Jaden?
Yes.
Oh, when do you feel nervous? What kind of test? What kind of experience?
It's because when we take a test, then we have to really think hard, and which is you have to be focusing because if you can't think hard, you won't get the answer.
Yes, good. That's a good one. Good one. Okay. Oh, so we're gonna learn text to world. That means we already went over this one, right? People have to take driving tests. So you are relying the text to the world outside the experience, right? And in the book, The Big Jitters, the student felt nervous before a big test. I felt the same before my math test because I want to do well. This is going to be text to self, not text to text, right? So this one is a mistake. So text to self. Okay, now I want you guys to try it. I took a big addition test once and I was so nervous I felt sick. What type of connection in this statement? A, B, or C? Let's write it down on the chat. Okay, I'm going to open the chat. Could you please write down A, text to text, B, text to world, C, text to self. Okay, I started to see some answer. Remember, text to self, text to text is about relying to another book or story. Text to world is relying to another world or outside experience. And text to self is talking about my experience. I felt the same, right? Nice. I see like A, B, C. Okay. I see lots of text to text. I see text to self. Oh, I see. Okay, I see text to self. Text to self. Okay. Iwa told me you typed it wrong. TTT. What's TTT? Oh, text to text. Oh, that's abbreviation. Okay. Nice. Guys, the answer. Okay. I'm going to give 5 more seconds. Actually, the answer is going to be text to self. Okay. Remember, it's talking about I took a big addition test once and I felt nervous. I felt sick. So really, after you're reading some book, are you talking about, oh, I felt that too? That's going to be text to self. Right. Now, listen to the first 2 minutes of this story. Oh, where's the story?
Oh, I don't know. Here, let's see if I have it on my slide. Let me look for just a second. Yeah, that must be my fault, Messina. I don't know where it is. Seems like we had another story. I think it was, I know it was about the first day of school, but it disappeared. So yeah, so that would definitely be an example of text to text. I'll try to find it for you guys another day, okay?
Perfect. So when we read the book, you always have to think in your mind, okay, use the start ends. Oh, this reminds me of, right? I felt the same way. Another book that shows that is in real life, people also, these are all text to self and text to world and text to text, okay? When you're talking about real life, people also did this, text to world. Oh, I felt the same when I went to Disney World. Text to text would be, oh, another book that shows is going to be text to text. Now, it's the text connection game day. Everybody show your reaction. Happy? Excited? All right, so actually, Miss Crosby, could you